What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of the 5 takeaways. We're going to take a look at the 3-1 win over West Ham and see what we can take away from the game. And the first one we're going to look at is Son on form.
Yeah, so Son put in a really strong performance yesterday, obviously grabbing 2 goals, was involved in the first goal as well. Very nearly had a third with when he hit the post and was a constant menace throughout the game. He actually was quite good defensively as well. He won 4 of his 4 ground duels against the West Ham other West Ham players, and he was continually causing West Ham trouble throughout the game, and deservedly got 2 goals, and that now makes it 9 goals and 4 assists in his last 15 Premier League games. And despite some iffy performances, he's still banging the goals, and he is on form. That is elite numbers, even though he might not be giving elite performances.
Yeah, and that's the exact reason why Antonio said you can't take this guy out of the team. Whether he's playing well, whether he's not playing well, there's one thing that you can always guarantee, and there's going to be goal contributions in there from Heung-min Son, and that's exactly what we're seeing yesterday. But, you know, iffy performances aside, I really thought he was back at it yesterday, you know, back to one of his best performances of the season, I thought. So, really good performance from Heung-min Son. The goals keep flowing, the goal contributions keep flowing, so long may that continue. And, you know, it's so good to see us coming into this form, coming into the real business end of the season as well. Let's move on to number 2. The second takeaway is Conte's attack.
Yeah, and you know, it's something I don't think maybe gets enough credit from Antonio Conte, but obviously he came into Spurs after 10 matches played, and since Conte has been appointed, yesterday was the 7th time that Spurs have scored 3 or more goals in a game since Conte's been appointed. Just comparing that to some of our rivals, Arsenal have only scored 3 or more 6 times during the whole season, and United have done it 7 times during the whole season. But obviously this is since Conte has been appointed, and we didn't do it once before Conte was appointed. So we are definitely starting to score, definitely of late. We got 4 against Leeds, 5 against Everton, we had 3 against Man City, we had 3 again yesterday against West Ham. So even, like, you could say it's opposition, but, you know, 3 against City and 3 against West Ham as well. We're starting to score against some really mean defenses.
2 against United, yeah.
So we're starting to score against some really good teams. So it's not just the opposition who we're scoring against. So that's probably the most positive thing. But yeah, we're starting to, the attack's really coming full like to fruition now in the system.
No, I completely agree. And when you're looking at the stats as well, where it's in the last, well, since Kulusevski has come, it's 10 goals and assists for Kane. I think it's 7 for Sonny and 6 for Kulusevski. So it shows that it really is coming from all those 3 as well. It's not just 1 or 2 like we've seen in the past. We really are starting to attack as a team and contribute as a team to the goals and the assists. So that's something else I'm loving at the moment with this Tottenham Hotspur side. Let's move on to the third takeaway, and that is pressure off.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting because everyone was talking about how West Ham would be tired coming into it, and I think the stats probably bear it out, because the amount of times West Ham pressured us yesterday was the least we've been pressured by any team in the Premier League this season in any game. So maybe that's got something to do with with a bit of fatigue. On the flip side, we pressured West Ham the least amount we've pressured anyone this season as well. So there wasn't a lot of pressing going on yesterday. We only pressured them 115 times, which is the least we've done it. But having said that, despite not pressing them much, we still got they had the least touches in our penalty area that we've conceded this season, and we had one of the most carries into their penalty area that we've had. So it shows that even though not much pressing going on, we still made the most of our possession.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that at all. I was going to see what your pressure is off is alluding to. I thought it was going to be something to do with the top 4 race, but no, clearly not. But yeah, I think that I even noticed it in the first half, how West Ham looked a bit weary, and then obviously as the second half wore on, that became even more evident. But yeah, again, good display yesterday. But let's move on to the 4th takeaway, and that is Paratici paying off.
Yeah, and as we see yesterday, you know, Romero, Bentancur. Well, first of all, Paratici. there's been a bit of a dialogue or narrative going on throughout the season. Has he done a good job? Hasn't he going to done a good job? Does he deserve the Don status? But maybe after yesterday, we can start being more confident in calling him a Don, because I think Romero, Bentancur, and Kulusevski now are starting to play a pivotal role in this team. They're all obviously Paratici signings. Bentancur, first of all, with an absolutely central to how he played in the middle. He won 4 of his 6 ground duels, 2 of his 3 aerial duels. He completed 3 of 3 long passes, and he had a 95% passing accuracy with the most passes on the pitch. And then he also had Cuti Romero pocketing Antonio and being really proactive in his defensive line, and Kulusevski causing havoc in the front line, and that's all down to good recruitment from Paratici. So I think he's starting to earn his status now.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And when you're looking at these 3 signings that you're talking about, they're the best 3 signings we've made for a long time. And I think that these 3 signings are the caliber that we need to be aiming for in the summer window in every position that we're going to be looking for. We need to be going for that same caliber or better. And, you're looking at these 3 players, and they're actually the only players that have made an impact in the first team, I believe, since we signed Heung-min Son, really. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, maybe you can put in there as well. But really, they're at that level. And I've especially Kulusevski and Romero, well, to be honest, not just especially, I think all 3 of them are absolutely eye-catching performances. Romero, Bentancur and Kulusevski over the past couple of weeks have literally been so good, and a breath of fresh air in this squad that this squad desperately needed as well. So, yeah, I'm loving all 3 of them. I really am. But let's move on to the 5th and final takeaway, and that is favourable fixtures.
Yeah, so Spurs now obviously 3 points behind Arsenal in the race for the top 4. We have 9 games left to play. Arsenal have 10. Arsenal did end up beating Aston Villa 1-0 on the weekend, but looking at the remaining fixtures, and although it's tight and it's close, they do favour Tottenham. Tottenham have 4 of the bottom 7 still left to play, and only 2 of the top 8 left to play in their remaining 9 games. Arsenal have 4 of the top 8, and United still have 3 of the top 4 still to play. Whereas also United and Arsenal only have 3 of the bottom 7 compared to Tottenham, who have 4 of the bottom 7. So it's still tight.
What, Man United still need to go to play Man City and Liverpool?
They need to play Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Right.
3 of the top 4.
So for some reason I had us in the top 4.
Yeah, we're not in the top 4, unfortunately. But I think more to do with the
doesn't compute in my mind. Arsenal in top 4,
and Arsenal. So we only have 2 of the top 8. Arsenal have 4 of the top 8, and United have 3 of the top 4. So definitely fixtures favour us in terms of difficulty. So hopefully, and although it's close, hopefully those little tight inches can go in our favour, and that can pay off.
Yeah, and not only do the fixtures favour us, but also they favour us in terms of spacing between the fixtures as well, where we've literally got a game a week till the end of the season. And I was looking at the next 5 games. We were talking about this on Good Morning Tottenham, that the next 5 games is pretty much all against teams that can't go up, can't go down. They're just stuck in that no man's land. And yes, sometimes these fixtures, the pressure can be completely off and they can play football, but I think more times than not it just means these teams are more or less on holiday, and I think that could also work in our favour, especially as we have a week to prepare for each one of those games as well. So I think that's going to stand us in very good stead. But look, I'm in no way getting too carried away with this top 4 race. I know there are going to be a lot of twists and turns left to take with 9 games left to play. When you're looking at Arsenal, I think it's all going to come down to that week period where they play Man United, West Ham and Chelsea all in the space of a week. So and then also obviously there's the North London derby as well to come.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very interesting end to this season. International break now, so the players get a couple of weeks off, the ones that aren't going on international duty anyway. So hopefully some of them can get a good rest in and get ready for this last 9 games of the season. The proper business end now, isn't it? So let's give it one final push, Tottenham. Come on. But that is our 5 takeaways from the game yesterday, 3-1 against West Ham. Let us know what you thought of our takeaways and put your takeaways in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.